Hello, so today we are here to solve this number of closed islands problem. In this, we are given a grid, and this grid consists of zeros and ones, only zeros and ones, no other values. And zeros here represent land and ones represent water. So if you see in this example, ones are sky blue in color, zeros are grayed out. So zeros represent land and ones represent water. And we need to find the islands. Which kind of islands we need to find? We need to find closed islands. What do we mean by closed islands? We mean by closed islands that it is a maximal four directionally connected group of zeros. So it is a maximal four directionally. Four directionally means up, down, left, right, connected group of zeros. And this island is totally surrounded by ones. So see in this diagram, in this example, this closed island is surrounded by ones, and in this closed in this this island is also surrounded by ones, four diagonally surrounded by ones. So only up, down, left, right matters. Diagonal, zero and one, these things don't matter. So, and in this example only, these zeros are, you know they are on the boundary, so, and they are not closed by ones from all its sides. And this zero is also on the boundary, and it is not closed by, so it is not closed by one from all its sides, or four diagonally connected, four directions, from four directions it is not closed by one. So these two chunks of lands are not getting counted, only this and this chunk of land is getting counted, so we are getting output as 2. How to solve this problem? So first of all, we need to find the total closed islands. So let's declare it as 0 initial value. And then we'll start our loop for and I is equal to 0, I less than grid dot length plus I. Okay, for and j is equal to 0, j less than grid of I dot length plus j is if grid of I j is equal to 0. अगर ये 0 है तो हम लोग विजिट ग्रिड डीएफएस में कॉल करके यहाँ ग्रिड डाल देंगे, यहाँ आई डाल देंगे, यहाँ जे डाल देंगे. Okay, and we will be tracking one instance variable, the class variable, I mean to say object variable, this boundary not touched. If this is true, then we'll be incrementing this plus total closed islands. Else, if it is false, then we'll be making it as boundary not touched is equal to true. And at the end, we'll be return total closed islands private. Yeah, correct. So this boundary not touched, first we need to declare this Boolean variable. Boundary not touched is equal to, first initial value will take it as true, and then private void visit grid DFS and array grid and row and column. So in this, first of all, we'll take, if something is less than 0, row is, greater than equal to grid dot length, or column is less than 0, or column is greater than grid of that row dot length or grid of row column is equal to 1, then we are not going to do the traversal, we'll just be returning from there. Otherwise, if row is equal to 0 or row is equal to grid dot length minus 1, so these are the two extremes of a row. Okay, so these are the two extremes of a row, 0th row or the last row. Okay, and then col is equal to 0 or col is equal to grid of the row dot length. So if these are the things, okay, so we will, leave them like this and then declare one new parenthesis, and then we will take one, and grid of row and col is equal to 0 अगर ये 0 है, so what we'll do, we'll mark our boundary not touched is equal to false. Okay, and then we'll go ahead, grid row column is equal to 1, and then we'll be calling visit grid DFS grid row plus 1 col row minus 1 col row col plus 1 minus 1. Okay, like this. So I guess we have covered almost all the cases, just few here and there glitches could be there. We have almost covered everything, correct? So now let's run it. Okay, so what have we done basically what we have done here, that we have taken one local variable in total closed islands is equal to 0 for initial value, and then whenever we are traversing through the grid, and whenever we are getting that grid ij is equal to 0, we are calling visit grid dfs. In the grid dfs, we are first checking whether we are not lying outside the boundary or the given row call value is already 1. If it is already 1, then it's water cell, and we are not interested in traversing, doing DFS on the water cell, so we are returning then and there. So anything which is outside the boundary scope of the grid, we are returning, or if it is a water cell, then also we are returning. Otherwise, if it is a boundary cell, how can it be a boundary cell? If row is equal to 0, row is equal to grid dot length minus 1, column is equal to 0, column is equal to grid of row dot length. Here also we need to make length minus 1. So these things we should be taking care of. Otherwise, we'll be getting wrong results. And grid row call is equal to 0. So it means that this is a land cell. And if this land cell is on the boundary, row is equal to 0, row is equal to grid dot length minus 1. These are the two extremes of the row. Call is equal to 0 and call is equal to grid row length minus 1. So 0 to length minus 1, these values it can go. And then grid row call is equal to 1. And then we are doing this. So let's do a run. Okay. Perfect. So all these values are getting accepted. Now we'll submit this. Perfect. Perfect. So if you have any doubt, please post it in the comments, and I'll be happily, answering them. So please, solve this problem. And this is a very, interesting problem. And based on this, you can solve many other problems. Thanks a lot.